Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
Happy Monday, all you Minties. Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And I am here to talk about one of my favorite releases, one of my favorite comics that came out in the last few years, now in omnibus format, and that is the Strange Academy Omnibus from Marvel Comics. So join me for your advanced look at this book. Before going any further, a big thank you to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us an advance copy of this omnibus. This Omni is due out in the direct market and book market on June 10th or 11th, depending on where you get your books. So it does have two covers. We have the regular cover, the standard edition cover that's going to be available everywhere, and that is the one supplied here by Humberto Ramos. On your left-hand side is your direct market cover, and that is the one that is supplied by Skottie Young. And it is a variant cover to the first issue. It does still have that book type of design, making it look like a little bit older, like some kind of antique rare book that you would find at a used bookstore. I love that look. So they were kind enough to send both covers. The spines of the book, again, featuring some different characters. You have the character on the left-hand side of Toth, and on the right-hand side, in the standard dust jacket, you have Doyle and Emily right there. The backs are identical, however, right here. Rated Teen Plus, what's collected, and I love the fact that they're using panels from inside of the book by Humberto Ramos. Marvel logo, ISBN, and I said T+. A little bit about the book, the Marvel Universe, First School for Sorcerers, and boy do I miss this title. And then, of course, the retail price. It is $100 for this particular Omni. The stories you're going to find in here have been collected in many different formats. There were digest-sized versions that came out first, and then we had year 1 and year 2, and even a deluxe hardcover of the first 6 issues that came out, I think, a couple of years ago. This one is unique because it's not just the first 6 issues, but it's also the first 6 issues, the original artwork here, before you have the beautiful and absolutely stunning colors by Edgar Delgado. So this one was $75, and the retail price of the Omni is $100. And those black and white pictures you're not going to find in here. Those are exclusive to that deluxe hardcover. So if you have that and you're thinking about getting rid of it, and you really like that part of the extras, then maybe think twice about getting rid of it. Here is a little bit about the Strange Academy, and then a little bit about the creator, Skottie Young, and Humberto Ramos, and Edgar Delgado. Underneath here, I love the character and concept designs here that they are using for the entirety of the art on board. So we are going to crack this book open, and I'm going to talk about what's collected in here, what's not collected in here, and of course talk about the stories, give you the pitch of the stories, what these stories are about, and look at this artwork and look at the extras. And of course the build too. How could I forget that? All right, let's go ahead and get in there. All right, let's go ahead and get this opened. Love this like flesh tone because they used it for the hardcover, the deluxe hardcover. And here are some of the key players in this book right here, like Emily, and I talked a little bit about Doyle. Well, no, they're on the actual spine of the book. You have Desi right there, and you've got the character of Eric and Shaylee. I forgot how much I miss these characters, and of course the character of Zoe. And some of these characters, they actually give you, it's like I think they did the same thing in the hardcover, and I get excited over this every time. But it's like a yearbook. As a matter of fact, I guess that's what this whole thing was supposed to be like a yearbook, the design of it. and then issue number 1. So collected in here is the Strange Academy 1 through 18 and Strange Academy Finals 1 through 6. The book has 592 pages and retails for $100. I forgot to go over the people here behind the scenes. Of course, Skottie Young's a writer. Humberto Ramos is the artist. Edgar Delgado is the color artist. And then Clayton Cowles is the letterer. There's Jared Fletcher, who did the logo design, and other editors. I give spoilers for this book because I do have to talk about it, and I really do miss reading about these kids. Although I heard about Doom Academy, now I'm kind of excited to read that when it comes out in trade. It starts off with this letter from this girl named Emily Bright, and it is to Dr. Strange. So Dr. Strange gets this letter, and she talks about how she's able to use magic, how she's able to restore life to her dog, and she gets invited. So I guess much I cannot help but think of like Harry Potter. Actually, technically, if you look at the books of magic and Tim Hunter, that does predate Harry Potter. But yes, she gets invited to a magic school, and it's none other than Zelma that invites her over there. And Zelma ends up taking her through a portal where they go through Bourbon Street, and it's just a magical type of school. So if you think of like New Mutants when it was with the X-Men, this is exactly that, except it's the magical aspect of the Marvel Universe. So Emily, through her eyes, we get to meet all the other characters. And there's a lot of characters, and there's a lot of teachers, so get ready for that. But each one is so unique, and you will have your favorites. So you have this character right here, that's Emily, and she's hugging Shaylee. What is her... It's like Moon Petal, I think. It's so cute. And then you have the brothers right here. This is Alvi and Eric. And they come from Asgard. So they come from not just Earth, but different places from all over the different realms. This is the character of Gus, who happens to be a frost giant. And everybody gets Doyle mistaken for Dormammu. Is he related to Dormammu? And then some of the teachers start showing up, like Dr. Voodoo right here, or Loki. And we're going to start seeing some more of the other kids, because there are more kids that end up joining. We haven't even seen Zoe show up yet. But the first 3 issues kind of sets up who these kids are, how different they are, who's going to be roommates, and then who immediately doesn't like each other. This is the character of Toth. And Toth is part of the weird world. So if you remember, Man-Thing. Ooh, Man-Thing Mondays, baby. Man-Thing, then that's the character that comes from that world, that represents that world. And what is his powers? Is it different than Man-Thing, or is it very similar? This is the character of Herman, who also has... So all these people have magical powers. There's Desi right there, and she is rooming with Zoe. And they're all learning a little bit about each other. And then we're introduced finally to some of the teachers, like Hellstrom. You've got Nico Minoru from Runaways. You've got Scarlet Witch with her own redemption arc already. Magic and Shaman. And I don't want to say where each of these characters originate from, or like the kids, where they came from. But it's a lot of fun when you figure out, oh, that's from this comic. Or, oh, is that where they're supposed to be from? I love it. Did I talk about... I think there's one more. Oh, Calvin. Calvin just has a magical jacket, which comes to play later on, especially in that second story arc. And it is wonderful. Dr. Strange shows up in this very first issue, and he's like, hey, I need some help here. This is no longer going to be the Dr. Strange Academy. Because he's fighting some kind of creature, and all the kids team up to go and help him. In between each of the issues, you are given some extras, like the application, there's photos, there's profile on the kids. And it really does feel like looking through a yearbook. So the first 3 issues establishes who everyone is, where they came from, what their relationship is going to be with each other, who doesn't like each other immediately, and why they don't like them, who's kind of, there's a little bit of prejudice going on because some of these characters come from other worlds, and because of their experiences, and yes, I'm talking about the character of Doyle, because of their appearances, they're like, oh, well, you must be evil. And slowly they're starting to learn through here. And then we finally get, look at this beautiful artwork. We finally get some villains in the first few issues, and that is these creatures known as the Hollow. So our heroes have to go up against the Hollow, and each one of them with their own little secrets and with their own way of fighting. and how they kind of come together to form a light where all this darkness is taking place. So again, that's where the first few issues take us, and then pretty much this is kind of broken up into like first year, second year. And that's the way the trade paperbacks were with year one and year two. And that's the way this is broken up. We get to know the characters a lot. There is a new character here. It's kind of placed like a villain later on. And you get to see how people, some of the kids, that's a spoiler. Nah, you know what? I'm going to be vague about it. How perhaps magic can be something you become addicted to and you can't live without. And how do you even find an identity when magic has been with you your whole life? So there are a lot of things that show up through here like that. Like if one of the kids ends up losing powers, what's going to happen to them? Can they still attend the school? There are field trips, and of course they go to different places like Asgard. There is a time travel story, and again, extras like this, that I thought, oh man, I hope it leads to this. There is a murder mystery that happens through these pages, and who do they call in? Howard the Duck. So there are some really cool, and I mean really cool, boy, I wasn't expecting that to happen, type of cameos throughout the entire book. Love the way that Humberto Ramos draws. I think, to me, this is the type of story that he was born to draw. I love his artwork on Impulse, and while I am a fan of his Spider-Man, I think his kids are where he shines, where he draws young people, right? Because we're used to his big eyes and big mouths with that anime flair, but it's just, this is where it just kicks all kinds of ass. And that is the only way I can describe this art. Some of it is not inked, and some of it is inked, and the colors by Delgado just make it so perfect. The lettering is great by Clayton Cowles, who has been lettering forever. Each of the kids have a different way of just, their word bubbles are different, and you feel that. I absolutely feel that. Now, this is the future issue where we're seeing a prophecy, and it's about, of course, going through a portal, and we get to see a little cameo of Age of Apocalypse. That's awesome. Of course, actually, Humberto Ramos did the follow-up Age of Apocalypse little storyline when they had their anniversary I say a few years back, but I think it was like 10 years ago. Yes, and it's all the character of Eric it's actually Doyle that ends up going through a different portal and ends up going to this future and finds out about a prophecy. Now, I can't really talk about the last few issues through here, but we are introduced to a new villain, perhaps somebody that can help people, and his name is Gaslamp, and he becomes friends with one of these characters. Something happens through these pages that happened in the pages of Doctor Strange, and they do talk about it here, and they do react to it. It's not like they skip through, oh, that was a big changer for the Strange Academy. But the last arc through here, it goes in places I didn't expect it to go. It goes in places that kind of makes me mad. And not because, oh, what a dumb idea, but more so along the lines of, I care about these kids. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. And when something bad happens to them, it made me mad. And I guess that's the sign of a good story. In the way that New Mutants affected me, or more so actually New Warriors. When something horrible happened to one of the kids in New Warriors, I would be upset. And I read this with my oldest daughter. This is the character of Gaslamp. Almost called him Gaslight, but no, it's Gaslamp, facing, of course, Dr. Voodoo. But when reading this with your kid, you grow with the characters, and it gets to a place where it's a darker type of story, where you don't know exactly who to trust, and characters will make you mad, like, why are you making this decision? And if you enjoy the story, and I really hope you do, it will make you feel like that. Absolutely love this book. I miss these kids, and when rereading this, because as soon as I got this, I got to me well over a month ago. I reread it, and I had to reread it again because I was like, well, I want to do this story justice. I want to talk about the things that I loved about it. And a lot of it has to do with the personalities of each kid. You figure that with this big, we're looking at 12 kids that Skottie Young is writing. With 12 kids, each one of them has to have a different personality. It can't be that easy. Plus, you have all the adults. You've got all the guest stars. You got other things happening in the Marvel Universe. So, yeah, it goes in ways that I didn't expect it to go, and I enjoyed every bit of the ride. Now, I am going to talk about the extras in the book, and then we'll do a comparison and talk about what's missing. So let's look at the extra. So the back matter starts off with this goodbye letter from Skottie Young and Humberto Ramos talking about how the concept came about. This is the design variant. I wish we had more design stuff, but the covers are collected in here in a splash page format, and there are some gorgeous covers. I'm a big fan of those Arthur Adam ones here. Yes. Some early Peach Momoko before she truly blew up, right? Like now she's just doing variants for every issue of every comic, it seems, while still doing a scheduled Ultimate X-Men. And the teachers here, so you have a place for the students, and you've got the place for the teachers, including Magic, and then Todd Knock actually drawing some of the variants, Wong, and the mindful one, not the mindless one. And Ryan Stegman doing some of them. And there's some Peach Momoko, David Baldeón, toy variant, some more Skottie Young variants, and some of the variants are in between the issues and Dustin Weaver and your end sheets. So let's talk about the build and of course what's missing. 592 pages, not much of an eye, but I do love that gold ribbon, that head right there. Gives it a nice little classy touch to it. And let's actually look. I want to go back to the cover here, the design cover, because I think that's the best way, without going into spoilers, because there's some awesome spread pages through here, of looking at a spread. So you do have some gutter loss happening. Not a lot. This one's printed at the iMac printer, which is the same place that they printed the deluxe hardcover. But let's talk about what is missing in here. So whenever I announced the book, people were asking, is there any way that Marvel could add those Strange Academy one-shots from their Deadly Field Trip? So there was a Deadly Field Trip collection that collects the Strange Academy Miles Morales, Strange Academy Moon Knight, the Amazing Spider-Man, and then presents the, well, I can't say that one. That one's a spoiler. I'll leave that one for the Jen McKay Doctor Strange Omni talk. But unfortunately, they didn't. They just wanted to make this just a Skottie Young and Humberto Ramos Omni. And that's what we got. So, I mean, every bit of this is drawn by Humberto Ramos. And, of course, Delgado doing the beautiful colors. So, I want to go ahead and do a quick comparison to the hardcover that was also printed at the iMac printer. This is the deluxe hardcover. And the paper stock seems to be and I mean just a little bit thicker. Not by much. But actually, let's look at this. So, the bleed through still happening, but it's a little bit more over here in the deluxe hardcover. And focusing on the colors, they seem to be just a little bit lighter over here in this edition. And again, the deluxe hardcover having more of a bleed through happening, whereas over here, it's there, but it's not as prominent as over here. Yeah, like, you have to really look for that, whereas over here you can tell that it's a frame coming from the other side. But the color's just looking a little bit brighter over here. And then the way that the actual covers are collected, it's very similar to the deluxe edition. You have the extra in between, and then you've got the cover. This time around, it's not gold, it's black right there, but the same type of frame design. Now, of course, what's not collected in here is the actual original art with some of the washing that is going on. No lettering, of course. So that's what's only collected here. And then, of course, it's also been collected in a series of 2 trade paperbacks and digest editions. So let's really quick do a quick comparison. And actually, this is using a purple frame, so even that's a little bit different. And, of course, the size comparison is going to be different. Because the paper stock they're using here is this semi-gloss, whereas over here it's using a glossy finish to it. But that is it. That's what Strange Academy is. That's what it looks like. That's what's collected in here. And that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this omnibus, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more,
And free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this book. And of course, the comparison to the deluxe hardcover and the trade paperbacks. If you're planning on getting this, which cover are you going to get? Are you going to get the Humberto Ramos cover, or are you going to get the Skottie Young cover? If you have any questions, leave your questions down below. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.